Maybe you're wondering if you should swap your snare drum hoops for die-cast or flanged. Is there really a difference? Well, that's what we're gonna try and find out. In this video, what I'm using is a Star Classic die-cast hoop, as well as 2.3mm Mighty hoop. Let's see what the internet has to say about the difference between die-cast and triple flanged. Die-cast hoops are made of hardened metal injected into a mold. Triple flange hoops are cut from a single sheet of metal. The tonal difference: die-cast tends to dampen overtones a bit more. Triple flange allows more vibration and ring, making the snare pop more distinctively. Let's see if we can verify that. Let's have a listen to the flange hoop. Now we're gonna hear what the die-cast hoop sounds like by itself. The pitch reads about D4, 291 Hertz. Keeping up with the same tension as last time. The hoops don't seem to affect the pitch at all. I did my very best to keep the parameters as even as possible between both comparison. I'm using the same snare, same heads, everything, same tension on the tuning. I must say though, however, on the die-cast hoop comparison, I filmed that maybe a week or two after the first clip, and I think that G1 head maybe was distended a little bit in the center, which would explain the slight lowering in pitch. So remember, our first assumption, according to the internet, was, well, the flange hoop give the drum a little bit more opening. Well, when I'm looking at the multimeter here, I could see that that's probably right. Center to center, you could tell there's a wider range of frequencies, especially in the lower mid-range on the flange hoop. Now comparing rim shot to rim shot. Now rim shot to rim shot, the assumption was you get more overtones with the flange hoops. And again, I must agree, because the graph tells you just that. Yeah, the multimeter, you can see there's a whole lot more going on the flange hoop, and the compression is actually quite stunning. However, you can see the die-cast has more attack on the rim shot. Alright, so I'm human. I think my playing's pretty consistent. I did my very best to try to play all of those samples with the same attack. So there's a lot going on in there, so this is not a purely scientific test. If I had a robot that could hit the snares exactly in the same spot at exactly the same velocity, every time. Maybe it would get slightly different reading, but I think for the purpose of this, it's conclusive. Yeah, flange hoops gives you more overtone. Die-cast gives you a little bit more of a pure sound. Other pros and cons. The flange hoop is malleable because, as we remember in the definitions, well, it is bent into shape, which means it can bend further. So that could be a pro and a con. Con being that if you don't tension it evenly, it could become, kind of wavy over time. So very important that you make sure that your the distance between the lug and the hoop is the same. That's the way to do it all around the drums. You just calculate. You use your thumb, a quarter. You can use a caliper, and that's a really good trick to make sure your hoops are going to stay nice and even the whole time. The die-cast hoop is molded into shape, so it's really, really hard. And that can be also a pro and a con. The pro being that it's unlikely to change shape over time, even if you tune it wrong or if you calibrate it wrong, and if you play a lot of rim shot. However, if you're a really hard hitter, and I've seen it before, it can break. It'll just pop. Whereas the flange, and another pro for the flange is that, well, even if you play rim shot, all it's going to do is bend further. It's never going to snap. So it all depends on what you want. So at the end of the day, diversity is key. You can use one or the other. You can use exclusively one. There's no right or wrong. I mean, the professional material is professional material. All depends on what you're looking for. I hope that was interesting. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and I'll be happy to do my best to answer. Take it easy.